Berky or is it something longer?
Oh no, it's actually Berky.
Okay.
It just like really is adorable when you put it together.
Maddie Berky!
Maddie Berky. She has a blog, PaleoGirlInTheCity.com.
Yeah.
PaleoGirlInTheCity.com. And she also was a collegiate rower and has started doing some rowing seminars around Denver. And so we have asked her to come help us figure out our rowing technique. Oh my gosh, I have a hole.
Oh no, they're multiplying.
My leggings are falling apart. Sorry. Anyway, we've asked her to come and help us to work on our rowing technique and address some of the issues that she sees, kind of the most common rowing faux pas. So we're just going to get started by kind of looking at how she normally would set up the rower and go from there. So.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so first things first, usually I approach the damper. And for ladies, I usually have the damper right around a 4. And for gentlemen, I have it right around a 6. And what that does is it's basically simulating like how it would feel if you were in the water. So that kind of resistance. It does force you to have a little more finesse on the machine and really get used to connecting. It's a little bit lighter versus like we know we've all seen this. Oh darn it. We're like awesome. And I like just cry whenever I get on a rower and see that it was there. So I'm like, you just made that so hard for yourself. Sad. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
And that's lower than I would usually put it for myself. Like usually I have it in between like a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, so this is definitely lighter, and what it enables you to do is like spin it around a little bit instead of it feeling so heavy. So a lot of people like to jack it up a little bit because it's easy to feel connected, and it kind of like cheats a little bit of connection. This makes you be a little bit
you have to be more intentional about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about, now that that's set up, you want to talk about foot position?
Yeah, totally. So straps should go right at like the top of your shoelaces. So for you, I would make this a little bit shorter.
Okay.
You want it so that your heels can easily come up at the catch. Yeah, let's see how that feels. But you don't want to like choke your feet out. So you're like, it's like finding that lovely little happy medium. Okay. Sweet.
Like about as tight as like maybe you would tie your shoe.
Yeah, totally.
Snug, but not like gonna.
Yeah, I'm a compulsive tightener. But it should be tight.
Okay.
And it also should stay about this. So we can talk about this maybe later in the video. But like, if you're ending pieces and your strap is like that, you're. But no, you had a lot of good things. One of which was your finish sequence, and that is where I see probably the most mistakes happen.
Okay.
And think of your finish sequence as if it were like your setup on a barbell movement, where like you can't really escape a poor setup on a barbell movement. Like you can't do something miraculously in the middle to make your lift all of a sudden happen. Because rowing is repetitive, your finish becomes your start position.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, what? So that was really good. But 2 things I want to kind of shift with you.
Okay.
So one is, let's come to the catch for me. So this is the catch. This is the beginning of your drive, your application of power. And how you want to set up is let's have you lean forward a little bit. So we want, love that. We want shoulders to be tracking in front of our hips. So if this is the front, this is the back. Claire's shoulders are now tracking in front of her hips. And what she wants to do is keep this angle the same as she applies her legs.
Okay.
So let's just straighten your legs, and I want you to just keep this back angle the same. Nice. Now come back for me. Let's do that again. So you're just going to straighten your legs. Yeah, there you go. Do it one more time for me without me there referencing you. And go. Nice. Come back. So what you were doing in your stroke is the first thing that was happening. I want you to now just go like this. Ah, yeah. So, and what that does is it puts all the pressure of your stroke in your low back.
Well, it's the same like with a lift. Your first pull is your hips and your shoulders stay the same.
Totally. And that's what's so beautiful about coaching CrossFitters. I'm like, so this one time we needed a snatch. Remember when it worked? Yeah. We're always showing the same. Yeah. What? And I'm like, we're starting from the beginning. So that's the big shift. And what that allows you to do is have like a really leg-intensive stroke instead of a back.
Okay.
Yeah. So give me a couple of strokes just thinking about that. Okay. Yeah, I don't want you guys just to watch your shoulders on the video. And nice. That was a really good one. Yeah. I want you to think about just like sitting a little lower in your seat. So right now your butt might be scooting out a little bit early. That's better. Awesome. Breathe. So I like to think about engagement on this, on the rowing stroke. If like, this is like etiquette style, like great posture, and like this is the opposite of that. You want to find somewhere in the middle, so almost like you're in a hollow body position where you're curved but engaged. That's where you want to be in the rowing stroke, so that any application of power with your legs, choo, 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 like translates directly to that handle. So all the work you do does something. Okay. So now I'm going to do a drill to address one of the other pieces in your stroke, which just was, and you guys can see it on the video, is Claire's pausing just a hair. It's not by any means the most egregious fault that I've seen at this one. At your knees, and then, yeah, on your recovery. So catch, drive, finish, recovery. So on your recovery, there's just a little bit of a hitch where you're pausing and then accelerating again. Okay. And what we want to think about is keeping our stroke as smooth as possible. And this is like my favorite example to do with this. It's like a lot, when we're pausing at the finish, we have to recreate our momentum. So like we're acknowledging that we've stopped and we're resting, but it takes so much more energy to start a momentum up again. So if you think about like running like this, it's super nice and light, versus if I run like this, like I'm obviously resting, this is awesome, but it like takes so much freaking work. Tired. Yeah, like it's exhausting. So we're gonna do a drill to alleviate that. Okay, so let's have you start at the finish. And what we're gonna do,
finish.
Yeah. So finish it, and let's actually address your finish real quick. So just sit here and handle right to your sternum. Yeah, and lean back. Yeah, and like we've all seen this. How does that feel? Oh, better. It takes work, right, to hang out there. Yeah.
We've all seen it. Yeah.
It's my favorite when you make that their Facebook profile.
It's amazing on my face.
So finish should be comfortable. So right at your sternum, and we're just gonna do a pause drill, and we're gonna start to take away pauses. Okay. So we're gonna stop here always. Okay. Actually, that's a total lie. This is the first one we're not going to stop at. But, so come to your finish. Okay. And then when I say arms, you're just going to extend your arms. So just your arms. Okay. Yeah, awesome. And then I'm going to say body. You're going to lean forward. Okay. And then I'm going to say row. And you're going to take a stroke and pause at the finish again. Okay. So, row. Yeah. Nice back angle. Nice. Arms. Body. Row. So what this is doing is we're going through the whole finish sequence. Arms. Body. Row. And obviously right now we are pausing, but we want to start to take out these pauses. Arms, body, row. So this next time, arms, we're going to pause here. So you're just going to not pause at the finish. Okay. Body, row. So we're going to go right through the finish, pause, arms away. Yeah, body, row. Yeah, so just get those arms away nice and quick. Yeah, arms, body, you're right, row. And I want you to sit back, sit up a little bit more to finish. There you go. Nice. Yeah, just get comfortable. Hold on a minute. Nice. Unscooch it. Okay. Body. Go. There you go. So right up. Yeah, I love that finish position. Body. Go. Nice. Body. And now we're going to pause here. Go back. I'm a rower, so I'm really controlling. Yeah. So straight legs. Yeah. So now you're going to go right through, arms away, and then pause at the bottom. Okay. Go. Arms away, body away, nice. Rope. And so this is actually the point where you were getting a little bit stuck. Rope. Yeah, really good. Rope. Nice. We're going to need one more. And now you're just going to row continuously. So you're going to take out the pause. Rope. Yeah, so right through. Love that. Yeah, sit up a little bit more to finish. There you go. Nice. And try and just follow that handle back up. So one piece is now, there you go, moving into the next. Nice, two more. That's one, two, awesome, sweet. So what that drill is getting at is a proper finish sequence. So a lot of times, one of the most common faults I see is either, we want to do everything once. So as soon as we get here, it's like, you end up a hot mess at the front. Or get our arms away, but then we never lean forward. Okay. And so you end up at the finish with like ass to ankles, which is just, okay. Yeah. And it's like, yes, you have gone farther up the slide, but it's kind of like air squatting like this. We're like, yeah, you were totally, it's like larger range of motion, but you have to get here before you move power. Got it. So we did pause at the finish, pause at arms away, pause it body away, and just slowly started to take out those pauses so we got nice and smooth with that finish sequence. and made sure we went through all of it. And then for you especially, it was just taking out that little hitch.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet. Thanks.
So some of the things I see the most often when rowing, especially like super strong dudes like to do this one, which we've termed rowing from now on. The like nice little bicep curl. So we pull really hard from the beginning. And this feels really hard. It feels like you're doing work because you are. You just aren't rowing as efficiently, where think about it like any Olympic lift. As soon as your arms bend, your power ends. And that's the same with the rowing strokes. You want to keep those arms nice and long. And we want shoulders and hips to stay in the same angle until I'm past minutes. So that's one. Another is not respecting the one thing the rowing gods have given you, which is recovery, your recovery. So the ratio in a stroke should be a 1 to 2 count, drive to recovery. So I'm nice and relaxed on my recovery, even when I start to go fast. I'm still going slower versus this guy. And it's like, you're not at a rodeo. The change should be nice and smooth, nice and relaxed. And use the recovery to, it's aptly named, to recover. Just relax, do less, my friends. The other is just not going through the finish sequence. So getting the arms away, getting the body away before you bend your knees. So wrists should be past your knees at about mid-shin before these honkers do anything. Versus this guy where we have to get around our knees. Or this one where we've never leaned forward, so I'm now ass to ankles. And that just makes my stroke really back intensive. And I've taken my legs out of the equation. So hips should be behind my shoulders. And that's really going to allow me to get the most out of my legs. Okay, so sprint starts are one of the things I get a lot of questions about and are one of the things that like personally pains me the most, which is when I see this guy. And no judgment if you do this, just please don't ever do it again. And like, again, it feels like you're going really fast because you're working really hard. It's just, if you look at your movers right now, like take a little gander. And what do you think is going to get you moving faster? Like, you might have some nice guns. I respect them. But regardless of your guns, your legs are going to do more work. And they're going to get your fan moving faster, quicker, which is the point of a sprint start. So I like to do 2 different sprint starts. One is I build up from the front of the slide to the back, and the other, the back of the slide front. Front of the slide back looks like this. I'm going to be at full slide, and I'm going to take a half stroke, which is half my legs, none of my arms and my body. A half stroke, half my legs, none of my arms and my body. A 3/4 stroke, almost all my legs, my arms, my body still haven't changed. A 3/4 stroke, same thing. And then a full stroke. So what that looks like on speed and pressure is half, 3/4, full. And you can hear that fan moving. That takes a little bit of work, but it gets moving fast. And I didn't bend my arms until my full stroke, and that's a big one. The other, which is a little less like really intense and volatile, is building up in the middle of the slide and going to full slide. So what that looks like, and it's the same call, is I start at half slide, and I'm going to take a half slide stroke, which is the rest of my legs, my arms, my body. A half slide stroke. A 3/4 slide stroke. A 3/4 slide stroke. And then a full stroke. And a way to think about that too is my handles at my shoelaces, my toes, and then my foot. And that's a little bit like friendlier way to move into it. And it's something you can do on the fly. So if you're paddling and want to just start moving, that's a really great way to pick up some speed.